Hello and welcome to class 19 of my physics 2 courses. And it has been a very wonderful journey, and we are now busy in discussing about the latest of the computation called quantum computation. And the essentialities of quantum computations are based on the ideas of quantum mechanics. So we spend a lot of time in telling what is quantum mechanics, the basic ideologies, the basic concepts of quantum mechanics, which are essentially the quantum mechanics too, the concept of wave function, how to interpret wave function in this new methodology. That has been the paradigm shift in explaining this new methodology. Again, the basic variable is wave function, but the basic mathematics is slightly different. So accordingly, anything we do, it will be also changed. Okay. So what I tried to finally, you see, there is a principle of quantum mechanics which you have already studied in quantum mechanics 2 called superposition principle, that holds the key in quantum computation, as you know. That is one of the major difference with the classical computation. So what I did, I have been very systematic. I have been trying to first tell you the basic mathematical origin of this new mechanics, okay, on new computation. So I presented the whole situation in this way. I presented the whole situation in this way. So this is myself, obviously. This is there are two branches of quantum mechanics: the the Schrodinger approach and Heisenberg approach. Schrodinger approach describes the wave function with the mathematical function, and Heisenberg approach, as you know today, wave function is described by a state vector psi. Okay, kate of that is called a kate vector. And in quantum computation, the state vector representation is used actually. Now, the state vector is an element of vector space. So, what I tried to do, I tried to form this new mathematical background for you. Again, computation, if you just give the classical computation in parallel, which is based on 0-1 logic, off-on logic, Boolean logic. So, the basic mathematics is going to change. Here, 0 may not be number, 1 is not a number. It is a quantum mechanical state that you know. So I tried to tell you what is the A vector, the state vector. A state vector is element of a linear vector space, and linear vector space consists of a number of elements. They have to satisfy some properties. I have given the example in terms of Cartesian system where three vectors are there, I, j, k. The idea is that number of elements is equal to the dimensionality of the vector space, and any vector, any element you can express as a matrix, just like I means 1, 0, 0, j means 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, k means 0, 0, 1, like that. So this is the one of the ways you describe it. And afterwards, what we try to do, anything we discuss, we try to explain that, we try to analyze that through the ideas of this vector, state vector represent to the Cartesian system. And finally, next point was what are the properties they have to satisfy. I discussed in front of you the property of addition, associative law, distributive law, property of multiplication with scalars, and we spend a lot of time in and there in scalars the concept of field, scalar, the real field, complex field, and the impact is that even if you multiply, the multiplied vector remains in the same vector space. But apart from that, I discussed about the property of the inner product and outer product of the vectors. The concept is that when I talked about inner product, the message is that you cannot take inner product of two vectors of same space. One of the vector has to come from the dual space of the initial vector. If you have to multiply the vector I with j, I vector has to be from the dual space, that is adjoint of the initial vector. So you make that is called a bra vector. Okay, so you make a bracket like this. And this type of product is called inner product, and for inner product you end up always with a scalar. And the outer product is the tensor product, so that is a multiplication of two vectors of same space. So if you do it, you will end up with a tensor element. So after that, I introduce the concept of basis vector. The idea is that any point in a Cartesian, any space, you can represent by an arbitrary vector, and the arbitrary vector is linear combination of the basis vector. In Cartesian space, as you could see here there on the screen, in Cartesian space there are three basis vectors are there. So I can express any point R, a point by some basis vector R1, which is linear combination of the intersection along the x, like 4i, 5j and 0k, okay, or 5k, whatever you say in my description. So then those 4, 5, 5 are the called coefficients of linear expansion. They are real here because they are here. A point means position of an object, and position is real. On the contrary, after that I define another space that is called Hilbert space. Hilbert space is also a coordinate system. It's a space where you define a point with a vector, and that vector is a linear combination of all the basis vector. Those basis vector are represented by symbol phi I. So phi 1 is for I equal to 1, phi 2 is for I equal to 2 up to phi n. Okay, so it is like ai phi I. A's are the coefficient of linear expansion, and phi I is at the basis vectors. Okay, and after that I count, and the main difference is that in Hilbert space, this ai, the coefficient of linear expansion, is in general complex quantity. Okay, not in real space they have to be real. Okay, because they are defining real position of an object. Now here it is complex. Okay, those ais are complex. Now after that I actually switched over only to two-dimensional vector space, Hilbert space, where two basis vectors are there, 0 and 1, and you can express both of them as a matrix. 0, 1 and 1, 0 are the corresponding matrices. So here you can define any point by some arbitrary vector, maybe psi. And as I told you, in Hilbert space also, any point may be defined by some arbitrary vector psi, which is a linear combination of the basis vector. And then the meaning of psi, as I told you in previous lecture also, is it defines the state of an object, quantum mechanical state of an object. So in Hilbert space of two dimension 2, only thing is that it is 2. So dimension 2 means two basis vectors are there. So any point there will define the quantum mechanical state of an object, which we call psi. Okay. Now one classical example is to represent zero state with up spin state and down spin state with the one state, or anything of the opposite also you can do. So the mixture of these two is also a quantum mechanical state. This is in corroboration with the superposition principle, and the probability occupying the one of the states, the zero state is alpha square and one state is beta square. Okay, so the idea is that psi, this psi, which is a linear combination of the two basis vectors 0 and 1, which is representing a quantum mechanical state, is a qubit. A qubit is therefore not a number. A qubit is basically a function, state vector, replicating wave function of a system, describing the matter in quantum mechanics. Okay, which is a linear combination of the basis vector alpha 0 and 1. Okay, a probability of zero state is alpha square, one state is beta square, total probability being the 1. Okay, now another important issue and another important idea is that any vector, therefore, if we choose say in alpha square beta square 1, suppose you make beta is equal to 0, then your alpha has to be 1. So your psi then converges only to zero state. So then 0 is, that means also a quantum bit. If you make alpha is equal to 0, then the beta has to be equal to 1 because alpha square plus beta square is 1. So now that also gives a quantum mechanical state. Okay. That also gives a quantum mechanical state. So one state is also a qubit. Apart from that, if you choose suppose alpha is equal to 1 by root 2, beta is equal to 1 by root 2, now that is the linear combination of these two. There is also a quantum mechanical state. So ideally, any combination of alpha beta you can choose. Only thing is that you have to obey alpha square plus beta square equal to 1. Then you can generate a qubit. So number of qubits are enormously high. As you can see in this picture here, say up spin is a spin of electron. Say up spin and down spin are the two spin states which you conventionally know. Now this is obviously 1 and 0. Okay, so now if you just take a variety of combination of alpha beta like this, okay, as you can see in the picture, 0.8, 0.6 means alpha square is 0.64 and beta square is 0.36. So the total is 1. So that is a good combination. So basically, any suitable combination of alpha beta which gives you alpha square plus beta square equal to 1, you see various combinations are coming. Everybody is a qubit. So number of quantum bits are enormously large, which is in complete contradiction with the classical computation, where the number of bits are only 2. Okay, whether the number of bits are only 2. Okay, so which is in clear contradiction with that idea. So therefore, as you can see here, that those points that is being traced there on the circle actually, those dots, each dot actually replicates one quantum bit, because that is a mixture, that is a mixed state that is coming. Okay? So number of quantum bits are enormous. Now you may argue that it is the equation of a sphere, but ideally this coefficient is complex in general because it is a part of Hilbert space. It is a two-dimensional Hilbert space. So if you consider the all probable values of alpha not just in terms of magnitude but also in terms of its angular part, so you can probably form a sphere also. Ideally, any point on that sphere is means a qubit. So qubits are very large. So therefore, we can always make a difference with the classical computation. That classical computation, the 0 and 1 are only two numbers. Okay, but here now, and number of qubits are only, binary digits are only two. You add them, you subtract them, you multiply them. You do not get anything beyond 0 and 1. Here, the mixtures, any combination of state 0 and 1, okay, that is also a quantum mechanical state and also a qubit. So qubits are enormously high. Another main difference is that the classical bit 0 and 1 are realized through the voltage values. In a circuit, 0 means low voltage state, 1 means high voltage state, off, on, okay, like that. So basically, in next question is that how to realize this 0 and 1 of quantum computation. Answer was that we can use any quantum mechanical state to represent that, but condition is that I have to get a mixed state also. So one popular example is to choose a spin of electron. Even if we choose the spin of nucleus also. Now, spin up state of the electron will be considered as one quantum mechanical state. Spin down will be another quantum mechanical state. So now, if suppose spin up is 0 state and spin down is 1 state. So it is not just 0 and 1, the mixed state is also a quantum bit. Okay, that is a mistake. Okay, as you can see here, 0 state is there, 1 state is up spin state, as you could see there on the in my picture. So up spin state may be 0 state and down spin state may be 1 state. But apart from that, okay, there are many mixed states are also there. Okay, variety of mixed states are there. Each mixed state is a quantum mechanical state, and you can see there are so many states. There are in fact some imaginary coefficients are also there because as by the definition of Hilbert space, the coefficient of the expansion may be real or may be imaginary. Here imaginary, what is the meaning of the why I etc. will get it. Okay, there's a lot of physical meaning ultimately. You see, it's wonderful pictures coming here. Okay, up spin state or 0 state moving. So now it is 90-degree rotated. Okay, so that means creating an intermediate state. Okay, now it is 180-degree apart. Okay, all of them are going down like that. So it's a good combination. Okay, very good. Now, question is that how we can realize these states. I answered it many times that you have to manipulate the spin of electrons. Say up spin state will be 0, down spin state will be 1 state. So it's not 0 and 1. The mixed state is also allowed. So I try to tell about the what is called the spin of electron. Electron spin. This concept of electron spin is actually coming from the flow motion of electron around the nucleus. Now, electron motion around the nucleus is like this much. As you can see in the picture, because of the orbital motion, a charged particle is moving. By the Biot-Savart law, there will be current, there will be some magnetism. But apart from that, electron has got its own spin motion also. For spin motion also, magnetic field will be associated, as you can see in the picture. Okay, now suppose if you look at the right hand side picture, if the motion of the electron is like say maybe say it is clockwise. Okay, if it moves clockwise, then the direction of the lines of force, the direction of magnetic field will be upward. We may call it upspin state. And if the electron is moving and the spin motion is down anti-clockwise, it will be down toward the final magnetic field direction. We may call it down spin state. So up and down are the two popular spin states of the electron. And to make any solid, any magnetic material, this is connected to the magnetic property of the material. Any magnetic material, actually, you have to manipulate this up spin state of the down spin state of the electron. Okay, just like the up spin state will be there, down spin state will be there. Now, by the laws of quantum mechanics, their intermediate states are also allowed. That is the concept. Okay. Now it's a beautiful picture there. You see up and down. Okay, along in the clockwise direction, it is a 1 state, and in the anti-clockwise direction, it is a 0 state. So 1 is a quantum bit, 0 is a quantum bit, and the big news is that the mixed state is also a quantum bit. Now these are the differences between classical and quantum bit I just mentioned. Classical bits are binary digits, quantum bits are quantum mechanical state, classical bits are realized through voltage values, quantum bits are realized through the these are quantum mechanical state of the particle. Number of classical bit is 2, but number of quantum bits are enormous. As you can see there, any mixture of 0 and 1 is also an unload state. And these are variety of the quantum mechanical state. Okay. Now the question is that what you are doing to manipulate the electron spin, to manipulate the, you have to create the intermediate state. You can see in the picture that you have to give so many different types of rotation of the electron. Okay. Okay. Variety of intermediate states are there, as you can see in the picture. Not just up and down. In this picture also, this is a very good picture. Not just up and down. Not just up and down, there are so many intermediate states are there. So what you are doing, you are actually, as you can see in the picture, you are actually trying to rotate the spin of the electron. And you know, rotation, according to the laws of quantum mechanics, is an operation. So now we actually needed to know what are the operators which can interact with electron spin, because not every operator can deal with the spin of electron. Okay, not every operator can deal with the electron spin. Okay, you have to rotate the electron spin. So quantum mechanically speaking, any operator is this 1 and 0 will be two different quantum mechanical state. So I need a correct operator to create the rotation, to create the intermediate state. And you can see 0 and 1 are just 180 degree apart. Okay, so if you have to go from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, there also you have to do a bit of operation. Rotation is operation. Now, according to Pauli, okay, there are actually three rotation operator which you can interact with the spin of electron. Okay, this is what you are doing. Okay, you are actually that with your finger, what you are doing, that is the job of the rotation. You're rotating the direction of the spin. Mathematically speaking, or according to the language of quantum mechanics, according to the language of quantum mechanics, what you are doing, you are actually, you see, you are rotating the spin of electron. Spin is a magnetic property. As I told you, either of the spin of the electron is the electron with upspin is like a bar magnet. Okay, as I could see in the show in the picture like this here. Okay, this is the spin of electron. Okay, spin up state maybe the bar magnet like that way. Okay, our lines of forces are going from north to south, as you could see here, and spin down state, as you can see in the picture, maybe like this. Lines of forces are moving from north to south in that way. Okay, this is the way that depending on the motion of the electron. Okay, in the orbital, the spin motion of the electron. So this is how it is moving. So what I'm trying to tell you with this, okay, so therefore when you have to rotate the spin of the electron, you need an external magnetic field to do it. Okay, so what magnetic field will try to do? It will try to rotate it in favor of the field. Okay, so it will do this much. It will try to rotate in favor of the field. This is a rotation. So what that finger is playing the role of magnetic field. It is rotating the spin. Spin is the magnetic state of the electron. So a magnet can interact with another magnet. So application of magnetic field is a prescription of changing the direction of the electron spin. You see what you are doing, you are rotating the spin of electron. You are bringing the finger, you are rotating the spin of electron. Now these are the intermediate state. These are between up and down. Okay, so that is you are generating. Even you can go from up to down, that you can see how you are doing. You are doing this with the help of the external magnetic field. So physically it is you apply external magnetic field, which you can always do, and mathematically or quantum mechanically you do an operation. You do a rotation operation of the spin vector or the spin state. If you are in the one state, suppose it is 0 state, you are from spin up is 0 state and the spin down is 1 state. So all the mixture, all the intermediate states that you are generating, okay, you are doing it mathematically speaking or quantum mechanically speaking, you are doing an operation. So related operators are called Pauli operators. Okay, Pauli spin operator. And practically speaking, you have to control the magnetic field. So in actual experiment, one has to apply enough magnetic field is to create these intermediates. It's very funny, very interesting, and you should be happy to know that here you are changing the spin of individual atom. Okay, electron spin of an atom. So this is not the easiest job in the world. Okay. This is not the easiest job in the world, that when you manipulate the spin of an electron, okay, you have to control the magnetic field in that way. Okay, and practically, mathematically speaking, it's very easy. Okay, you need a correct operator which will be acting on the spin state. Spin is a quantum mechanical state. Now these are the operators. Okay, these operators are the three Pauli matrices. Okay, What is their job? The job of the Pauli operator is to rotate the spin. Okay, you can see like the last video lecture also I introduced them. Sigma x, sigma y, and the sigma z. So their job is to operate on the electron spin. Okay. So now what is the action of them? That is, these are the operators and these are the eigenvalues of them. Eigenvalues are there. Sigma x plus minus 1, sigma is plus minus 1, sigma z also plus minus 1, and they are the eigenstate. Okay, you can see there. Okay, these are the corresponding eigenfunctions, okay, which can be obtained quantum mechanically. Now, what I'm trying to tell you, what you are doing, okay, with this business of Pauli matrices, okay, you can see there. Therefore, spin operator is basically Pauli matrix sigma Si equal to h cat by 2 sigma I. H cat by 2 is taking care of the magnetic field. So, it is like the sigma I has got three components, okay, sigma x and sigma y and sigma z. So all of them are manifesting the spin of the electron. You see what they are doing? This is a bit flip operation or quantum not gate operation. You can see here 0 will become 1, 1 will become 0. Practically speaking, you are actually keeping 180-degree rotation of the spin of the electron. So this is quantum not circuit, okay. This is the quantum not gate. Okay, you can see. And how do you, this is what you are doing. You are changing the spin of the electron from up to down. This is the quantum, physically speaking. You are changing the, rotating the spin vector by 180 degree. Okay, this is the 120, same thing. Okay, so this is X means X gate or not gate. Okay, this is called quantum not gate operation. And this is a quantum not circuit. Okay, you can see left hand side is a, suppose I have got few atoms with, I have shown one atom, there will be more than one atom with electron spin. Up. Now this is a X gate operation. After that it is getting flipped to spin down, or vice versa. Opposite is also, you can do the same thing also. Okay. Now another few more popular quantum mechanical gates are there. One of them is basically very popular, root NOT gate, okay, or square root gate. So what root NOT? This is unlike to classical computation. Okay, in classical computation you have got only one gate. Okay, what root NOT gate does? You please see. You please see here. Root NOT gate does. Root NOT the matrix. You see what you are doing actually. You see this is the operator. Okay, this is 1 by root 2. Okay, 1 by root 2 1 1 I. Okay, you can see the root NOT operation. There is the operator. So what it will do? It will operate on any vector. Okay, 0, and it will convert, switch over to 1. Okay, now I will show you. Okay, just a second. Just wait for a second. You can see there 1 by root 2 I. Okay, 1 1 I. Okay, this is a root NOT gate circuit, and there is a correspondingly phase gate is also there. Okay, this is a phase gate. So what this, how they are acting actually? Let me show you. Okay, I will show you now to operate to these two of these actions. Okay, this gate, and I will also show you the action of Hadamard gate that will actually produce a mixed state. Okay, let me do it directly and show you. Okay, this will be going to be very interesting. This is the Pauli matrix sigma x, sigma I, and sigma z. The operation of X gate I have just shown you. Now let me just show you the root NOT gate. Root NOT gate, the corresponding operator is this much. Okay. So if it operates on one of the operators, suppose this is one of the spin states, suppose this is the spin up state or 0 state. So it operates means it will do this much. You see it is doing this much. 1 into 1 plus I into 0. And below this I into 1 plus 1 into 0. So this makes 1I. Okay. So what it does actually, this is the root knot operation. 1i is nothing but this much. 10 plus I 01. So what you are producing? You are producing a mixed state. Okay. So 10 is nothing but the zero state. I means you are providing a rotation, and this is the one state. Okay. So what root knot operation does? What root knot operation is doing? It is producing a mixed state. If you have got an electron, suppose you have got from atom with say up spin state, according to my description, zero spin state. So if you operate root knot gate, now this is producing root knot operation means this matrix 1 1 I. It is giving you this results. Okay, it is giving you this much 1i, and 1i is basically a mixed state. Okay, it is 1 1 0 plus I 0 1, which is a mixed state. So this is the this is also a qubit, but not 0 1 in between. So that is the beauty of quantum computation. You can this root knot operation in classical computation, knot operation was there. Now this is quantum root knot gate. Okay, so that is what you are getting. So if you think in terms of block sphere representation, this is up spin state maybe 0 state, down spin state maybe 1 state. Now this root knot operation is actually producing in between. Okay, so it is 1 plus 1 0, and this is giving a mixed state. Okay, you are producing a mixed state by this method. Okay, due to the root knot operation. And again, if you give a further root knot operation, you will come back to one state. So you can do that also. That is also going to be very beautiful. Okay, if you on this 1i state, if you do another root knot operation, that is if you operate this much, okay, you will get back to the one state. Very simple. If you just operate 1 into 1, I into I. Okay, I can show you. Okay, and here also I into 1, I into 1, like that. Okay. So if you do or operate another root knot operation, only one minus sign will be different. So we'll get back to the opposite state. So now another, so basically root knot operation is producing a mixed state. I hope you realize. Another popular gate is phase gate. Phase gate is this much. Root knot gate is also a phase gate. It is providing some phase shift. Okay. Phase gate operation is that. Okay, just to get it. Okay. Just to connect it with your original PPT. Okay, this is a root knot operation we just discussed. 1 1 I. This operation we did. Okay, just 2 minutes back. Okay. One I. This is something I discussed. And this is a phase gate. 1 and I, that will be changed. Here the root knot operation is showing is slightly different. Now let me show you this case also. Okay, here the IIs are actually Z directional one. Okay, just let me show you. So root knot operation and phase gate operation, if I show you separately, suppose root knot gate, I am making root knot operation. So basically, suppose I have got a electron with up spin state, 0 state. I am doing root knot operation, it will be like this much. 1 I1, 1 I, 1 0. So if you do the operation, you will get this much. You see, I into 1, 1 into 0, 1 into 1, I into 0. So you get I1. So I1 is as good as I 1 0 plus 1 0 1. So the beauty is that you are producing a mixed state by this method. Okay. So if I have to show you in a picture, so what does it produce? That if this is one state, zero state, and if this is one state, here you get an intermediate state. This is the root knot operation. Okay, this is the intermediate state, mixed state you are generating. Okay. Now on this mixed state, suppose I again, if you operate this, you'll get back to the other one. Now, on the contrary, if you get back to the phase gate, okay, phase gate, if you just show, it is also, suppose I have got an electron with upspin, and I do phase gate operation. Okay, phase gate is this much, that is 0 0 1 I operating on 1 0. Now this will produce 1 into 1 0 into 0 and 1 into 0 into 1 I into 0. So this produces nothing new as such. Okay, so this is giving you 1 into 1 0 into 0. Okay, 0 into 1 I into 0, nothing new out of it. So basically this mixed state is obtained from the root knot gate. Now another popular gate is the Hadamard gate. From Hadamard gate, okay, from Hadamard gate we get this much. This also produces a mixed state. How does it produces mixed state? Now the Hadamard matrix is actually 1 by root 2, 1 1 1 minus 1. Now if I operate Hadamard gate, suppose I've got an electron with upspin, so it will be 0 state. If I do H operation, Hadamard gate operation, so I'll do this much, 1 by root 2 1 1 1 minus 1 acting 1 1 0. So what does it produce is this much, 1 by root 2 1 into 1 1 into 0 1 into 1 minus 1 into 0, you produce this much. So this is 1 by root 2 1 0 plus 1 by root 2 0 1. Now this is a mixed state again, and you see now, so mixed state means the probability of each of the state is half. Probability of 0 state, that is 1 0, is half, and the probability of one state, that is 0 1, is also half. So the electron, if you now try to find it, it may be in a mixed state. Okay, and if you try to measure, now if you try to measure it, I call it measurement here. So you'll see either it is in the upspin state or it may be in the downspin state. You cannot see both of them. Okay, so either you will see it in the 0 state or you will see it in the 1 state. So one of them is true. You cannot get it in both the states. Now similarly, if you do a Hadamard operation on this much, suppose you do a Hadamard operation on 1 state. So suppose I've got electron with downspin. which is the one state. Suppose I am considering this. So if you operate Hadamard gate operation, so what does it produce? 1 by root 2, 1, 1, 1 minus 1, 0, 1. So it produces this much. You see 1 by root 2, 1 into 0, 1 into 1. Okay. 1 into 0 minus 1. So it produces 1 by root 2, 1, 0 minus 1 by root 2, 0, 1. So this is also a mixed state, only differed by minus sign. Otherwise, very similar to the other case. So from this also we can say the probability of finding the electron in the upspin state is also half, and probability of finding the electron in the downspin state is also half. Total probability is 1. But if you try to measure, what you will notice, electron either in upspin state or downspin. So during the measurement, you cannot get in the both the states. So what Hadamard operation is doing, it is producing purely mixed states. And practically speaking, what Hadamard operation does, practically speaking, what each gate does, if this is your electron with upspin, and if this is your electron with downspin, so Hadamard operation is also producing a mixed state. And when you try to measure, you end up with one of the states. Okay, that is a major issue. Now the quantum circuit of the Hadamard gate operation is like this one. This is the quantum circuit. That is, suppose I have got the atomic. This is the atoms. Okay, maybe with the upspin state or downspin state. So that you can represent it by line. Now this will be followed by the edge gate. Okay, this will be followed by the Hadamard gate. So you put the symbol H. Now you will get the mixed state. So it may be in one of the state. Maybe suppose it is in the 0 state. So it will be mixture of the two. 1 by root 2 0 plus 1 by root 2 1. Similarly, if you want to draw, this is a quantum circuit of Hadamard gate or edge gate. If you want to do it for the NOT gate, quantum NOT gate, same thing, you have to draw a line to represent it, maybe 0, and I have to use a cross to represent the action of the NOT gate. It will become into one state. Okay, if suppose you now want to represent the case of quantum root NOT gate, how does it represent? Same story. Suppose 0, you do root NOT operation, and what you are ending up with? You are ending up with maybe 1i. So it is a mixed state, or I1, it was something like this much. So it is I into 1 0 plus 1 into 0 1. These are all mixed state. Okay, so here I get a mixed state, here also I get a mixed state, and all these things you see here I consider electron with upspin. So how many bits I am considering? I am considering single qubit operation. Okay, so I am considering only one qubit. Here also how many? Electron with upspin. So basically single qubit. It is also single qubit. So far I have been talking about the single qubit gates. Now I will give one example of the at least 2 qubit gates. Okay, so get it. And that is a very popular gate, that is called CNOT gate. Okay, complementary NOT gate. So please get it. Now I consider 2 qubit quantum gate. Okay, 2 qubit quantum gate. 2 qubit quantum gate means suppose one of the bit is 0 0, the other one is maybe 0 1, another maybe 1 0, another maybe 1 1. So I consider a particular gate. Suppose we consider 2 qubit gate. So 0 0. Now we operate, we do Hadamard operation. Now it will become, this 0 is going on. So you will end up with 1 by root 2. Okay. 0 0 plus 1 by root 2 0 1. Now here I talk about a NOT operation. NOT operation means NOT is symbolized by this way. I put it as cross to show the C NOT operation. The idea is that if the first one, okay, if the first one is 1, then it will be altered, okay, which is not happening here, okay. So nothing I will get. Okay, now suppose I choose another combination. Suppose one of the state is 1 state, another state is 0 state. I do Hadamard operation. So 0 is coming. So it is also 1 by root 2 1 0 plus 1 by root 2 0 1. Okay, I just show you. Sorry. Suppose this is 0, this is 1. Okay, it will be safe for you to realize. If you do Hadamard operation, 1 by root 2 0 1 1 1. Now what you do, one C NOT operation. The idea is that what complementary NOT does, if the first term is 1, then second term will be inverted. So in the first case, no change will be there. In the next case, it will be, okay, 1 0, like that. So this is called C NOT operation, and this is also a mixed state. So these are the variety of quantum gates I discussed in front of you. Let me get back to the PPT. So this is a root NOT operation. You can see here, this is a phase gate operation. Now this operator, this is the phase shift gate. Okay, this one actually it will be I theta. Okay. So these are the 3 single qubit quantum gate which I all discussed. The NOT gate means X gate operation. There we have a Z gate operation. Hadamard operation I just told you. Okay, it's a mixed state you are getting. And you can see NOT operation means you are making 0 into 1, 1 into 0. So it gives 180-degree rotation. And the Hadamard operation is also shown a 90-degree rotation. Okay, so practically with the magnetic field, you rotate the spin by that much of angle. Quantum mechanically, these are the states. Okay, this is again the Hadamard gate which I just discussed. Okay, so Hadamard operation, as you can see, the occupancy of, as I just mentioned, Hadamard gate. You see, if you operate 0 on Hadamard, you get both the states with 50% probability. 50% with the upspin state and 50% maybe with the other state. Okay, but if you try to measure, you will end up with one of them. Now, these are some of the notation. A Q bit is indicated by line, classical bit by double line, gate by the symbol G, measurement gate is by that symbol, and time you can see. Okay, so that is a NOT operation, not quantum NOT. Okay, phase operation. You can see there Hadamard operation. The multi-qubit you don't have to remember, and this is what is something I told you at the end, the C NOT matrix. Okay, C NOT gate operation. You get it pretty simple. Okay, this is the operation. Okay, I mentioned in terms of 1 0. Okay, in front of you. So if the first one is 1, second one will be inverted. That is the logic. So here it ends our discussion on quantum computation. But you know, it's a new world of opportunities. So the future of computation is lying here. So where the entire basic interpretation of binary of the digit is different. Okay, I do not say digit. Okay, the interpretation of bit is different. It's no more a number. It's a quantum mechanical state called qubit. Correspondingly, logic gates are also different because you are manipulating spin of electron. So algorithms will also be different. So if you make higher studies, you can also penetrate that also. Now, thank you. Next day, we'll enter into the another very modern topic. Okay, that is called introduction to nanomaterials. Okay, thank you.